Chapter 1 of the History of Miss Betsy Thoughtless, Volume 1. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Joyce Martin. The History of Miss Betsy Thoughtless by Eliza Haywood, Chapter 1. Gives the reader room to guess at what is to ensue, though 10 to 1 but he finds himself deceived. It was always my opinion that fewer women were undone by love than vanity, and that those mistakes the sex are sometimes guilty of proceed for the most part rather from inadvertency than a vicious inclination. The ladies, however, I am sorry to observe, are apt to make too little allowances to each other on this force, and seem better pleased with an occasion to condemn than to excuse, and it is not above one in a greater number than I will presume to mention, who, while he passes the severest censure on the conduct of her friend, will be at the trouble of taking a retrospect on her own. There are some who behold with indignation and contempt those errors in others, which unhappily they are every day falling into themselves. And as the want of due consideration occasions the guilt, so the want of due consideration also occasions the scandal, and there would be much less room either for the one or the other, were some part of that time which is wasted at the toilet in consulting what dresses most becoming to the face, employed in examining the heart, and what actions are most becoming of the character. Betsy Thoughtless was the only daughter of a gentleman of good family and fortune in we shall leave the name out, where he constantly resided, scarce ever going to London, and contented himself with such diversions as the country afforded. On the death of his wife he sent his little favourite, then about 10 years old, to a boarding school, the governess of which had the reputation of a woman of great good sense, fine breeding, and every way qualified for the well forming of the minds of those young persons who were entrusted to her care. The old gentleman was so well pleased with having placed his daughter where she was so likely to improve in all the accomplishments befitting her sex, that he never suffered her to come home, even at breaking-up times, when most of the other young ladies did so. But as the school was not above 7 or 8 miles from his seat, he seldom failed calling to see her once or twice a week. Miss Betsy, who had a great deal of good nature, and somewhat extremely engaging in her manner of behavior, soon gained the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?